Sure. Nobody will tell you what's a caption. It doesn't get a lot of background.
Back here, no. This gentleman here decides to have a conversation. We're going to be in a little trouble. But we also have one on the stage, so
It would be better to be higher.
it just obstructs you. So we have this one, and then we have one more that's directly on the stage, so we can move around.
Yeah, one in one ear.
And the gentleman in the back and I, we're both hooked to the same frequency, so he's going to do the master mixing. So whatever's best for him, we'll use that.
Yeah, you'll end up with good.
Yeah, just crossing our fingers. We've had 3 successful nights so far. So
That's great. Do you work for Mead Center?
I did. I directed 2 of the pieces on Wednesday and Thursday. So. We all wear many hats in our department.
Yeah. The arts are that way, aren't they? There should be more money for it.
Yeah. It's one of those unfortunate realities.
Yeah. I don't know if it's true, but somebody told me that the United States, I guess the federal government spends as much money on the arts as the city of Berlin. It's like, well,
every other country in the world. The arts are. They're a line item in the federal budget that, because their GDP is so high.
There's so much creative talent.
And that's the for-profit industry. So for the non-for-profit, you're still looking at $2 billion just in this region. And you come to East Coast, non-profit, $4 or $5 billion. Well, you go to the West Coast. But we're still subsidizing corn. It's burning up. We can't even use. Oh well. Yes, sir.
Okay.
Probably not till tomorrow evening. It takes a little while. We'll look at the time. And we've had them up the next day. All the artists will get a link. We'll email all the artists. And they'll be able to click right on it. It may be ready by what time's your catch party? Possible.
He's got the archive. Your stream is live to the web on the OWL. And then YouTube, you can get the file. Thank you.
Yes.
Yeah, we've got a brother-in-law. 6 hours.
Ah. What was that?
Good evening, everybody.
Good evening.
My name is Terry Keel. I am the chairman of the Community Engagement Committee here at Arena Stage, and I am a member of the Board of Trustees. And I want to welcome you tonight to this wonderful facility and to the third annual Voices of Now Festival. And I especially want to ask you, how many people in the audience tonight are family members, friends of the actors? How about teachers at various schools or the school programs? That's wonderful, because I really want to especially thank you for the support you give these children, these students. Because without your support, they couldn't perform the way they do this evening and go through these important things. It's appropriate that Voices of Now is in the Kogod Theater, because it is a theater that was built for new voices, new playwrights. And these are playwrights that you're going to see tonight. Not only do they perform these plays, but they actually write them. So it's also an extension of the mission of Arena Stage, which is to provide diverse voices in the theater. So we have the whole combination of the Kogod Theater and the mission of Arena Stage all coming together here on the stage this evening. Now, I would particularly like to thank the sponsors, the overall sponsors of the Voices of Now Festival, which is MetLife. And I'd also like to thank, I have to make sure I get this correct, the Friends of Southwest DC for their support of the Jefferson Ensemble and for this festival. And we have the privilege tonight of having Coralie Farley, the president of the Southwest DC, Friends of Southwest DC in the audience. Could you give her a nice... scholarships. Now, I'd like to also introduce Anita Mead-Lausch, who is right over here. I think I can't see too well. Anita is the director of the Community Engagement Program at Arena State. She is a giant in the field. She is a brilliant person, and we could not do these programs without her tremendous work. Now, the next part of my program is to ask you if you have a cell phone. And if you do, check it right now to make sure that it is off. And anything that goes blinking around because it will disturb not only the performers, but also me. So please turn those off. And now it's my great pleasure. I just want to add one thing. The Voices of Now program is one of the most important things we do in real estate. We take it very seriously, and it's a great extension of the work that is done. And that leads me into the introduction of Ashley Foreman, who is the Director of Education at Arena Stage and the founder and producer of Voices of Now.
Again, my name is Ashley Foreman. I'm the Director of Voices of Now and the Director of Education at Arena Stage. Voices of Now is a program that works with ensembles of young artists to create original theater based on their lives. So the plays that you're going to see tonight, you'll see 3 plays tonight, are written by the artists on stage about their lives, though the artists speaking each story, speaking the lines, aren't necessarily the artists who wrote those lines. But all of the lines are true to the artists. Each ensemble starts with a title, and then from that title, they create poetry, movement, dialogue. We have a lot of discussion, and all working towards the goal of creating a piece of theater that raises questions, that helps their communities understand their experiences a little better, and hopefully creates a dialogue. And that dialogue is something that we'll be able to have tonight after the plays, and that's why we follow every Voices of Now performance with a talkback. This year, we actually have the biggest Voices of Now that we get. We have about 175 young artists in the program this year, which is a record. 13 ensembles performing. So 3 ensembles tonight, 13 overall. And we have some amazing partners. Tonight you'll be seeing a couple of our Fairfax schools, and you'll also be seeing a play by the Wendt Center for Loss and Healing, which is a center that works with people who are grieving and experiencing a loss. And so our artists really have a huge range, run the gamut, ages 11 to 22, all different organizations, and each artist in this program is here to tell their story. So I'm really excited to introduce our very first play, and that is by Robinson, and our directors of that play, Becca, and Hannah. Thumbs up. Correct? Here you are. Yes, Hannah.
Hi everyone, my name is Emily Thompson, and my name is Rebecca Campana. And we have had the privilege working with Robinson Secondary School on their play, Open and Shut. We've debated, we've written, we've discussed open and shut. When is it that you start to open your eyes to the wider world? What happens when you start to turn that gaze inward? What can't be ignored, and how do opening and shutting shape us? We're excited for you to watch and see what we've come up with, and ask yourself a couple questions too. Ladies and gentlemen, open and shut.
was only open to the things that I wanted to see. Whenever I was about to see something that I didn't like, I simply closed my eyes, ears, and my whole body. I was afraid to acknowledge those things because I knew that they would impact me. Cruelty to animals, bullying,
Natural disaster.
what's going on in North Korea, hunger,
Gun violence.
I didn't want to see it. I like being selfish and not thankful. One time, I went to church. And I listened to the presentation about world's problems. Some of those things were about world's poverty and human trafficking.
Human trafficking is happening right here in the Washington, D.C. area. The girl's young is 12.
I'm 12. I'm 12. I'm 12. I'm 12.
How many of you are 12? Raise your hand. Raise your hand! Now look around. Okay, you can put your hands down now.
Think of 5 children you love. 1 in 5 kids live without access to safe water. Think about that.
Will the first 4 rows please stand up? 1 in 4 children live without adequate shelter. As the people in this theater, you all will not have a safe place to sleep tonight. Okay, please stand.
My heart opened when I heard this, but I wanted to be close again. Yet, somewhere inside of me, deep down in my heart, I yelled with disappointment myself.
Open up. Open your heart. Why are you so selfish?
Another me said, fine. I finally opened my heart. Me and my own little world were completely changed. The world that I was living in was filled with me, me, me. But now, I see the world is filled with others, others, and others.
It used to be that I knew nothing of the world's problems. It wasn't that I didn't want to know. It was that no one had bothered to tell me.
A mental illness,
Terrorism. Maybe they just didn't want to scare me.
for abuse.
Horrible. What's horrible?
It's nothing. Well, there's no need for older.
But as we get older, we open our eyes to the world and see more. I think more people need to open their eyes to the environment. We learned in elementary school that the rainforest is being chopped down. But people don't seem to realize that the Earth is a dying planet, a rotting corpse. People don't care enough about animals and plants, though those are the things that fuel people's lives on Earth. It is so frustrating that there's so many people who can make a difference, but they just don't care. It is slightly terrifying to find out about all the world's problems. My dad had big discussions at dinner. One night, we got on the topic of the world. He said that astronauts are very environmentally friendly. When I asked him why, he said because when you look down at our tiny globe, you realize how fragile it is. We have nowhere else to go. If we looked down on our world like astronauts, what would we see?
Opening up to the world has changed me and the way I see the big picture. So it has for other people.
I believe that people start closed. So when you want to open up to someone, you have to choose to. I think you can open up to someone by caring a lot. If you have a good friend who you love, I think you will open up to them. I think you will open up to anyone you love most of the time. But what about the people you don't love?
When I was in 7th grade, I had all the friends I needed. In fact, I had most of the things that I wanted to be happy. But sometimes I get angry. A girl in my English class enjoyed attention. I saw the most amazing movie yesterday.
You're on fire! Then I realized that all I did was bottle up my emotions, and that was worse than letting myself feel. So, I started to let emotions in.
We expected something better than before. We expected something more.
Told some of my friends about my feelings in life, and I realized that I wasn't alone. I opened up when I had a good school counselor. It was hard for me at first, but let me tell you, this lady was a great person. I don't care if what you say is dark or embarrassing, or makes you feel different. We'll come up with a plan to open you up. She got me through a dark tunnel into the light side. I used to be a shut person, but Mrs. Peterson opened me up. Letting myself feel did have a negative effect, though. Sometimes I thought about my negative feelings way too much. So half of it was good, and half of it was bad. I guess it's the balance of life and the risk you take.
Once upon a time, I accidentally left the pot holder on the burner and it burned. My mom came in and opened the door to let out the stink. It was so bad. What does that have to do with this? It just got me thinking that sometimes you need to open yourself up to let out your bad feelings and your sorrows.
Oh.
My dad is in the military. Attend, hut! Left, right, left. Attend, hut! My story is moving every 3 years because of his job.
Pre-K, kindergarten, first grade!
I've had to open and shut myself a lot.
Second grade!
First I was confused. Then it kicked in. I felt so many emotions as I was waiting for my load.
In a week or two, I'll come and take you to America.
I did not know English well enough to speak it and to understand it. I was afraid of the atmosphere.
Who's used to being with me and the
change the way things are.
Don't trust her. Don't gather under her rebel flag. She's a bad girl.
I am now. I hold my head high and make the wrong decision by not being normal. Oh yes, I am a very bad girl. I'm smudge. I'm smudges. I'm imperfect.
Everybody brings something different to the table.
Some of the most beautiful pieces of art are smudges. Why can't people be smudged? It's not about being right or wrong. It's about hearing different opinions and appreciating variety
At first, I didn't see myself. Did I like science and technology? Absolutely. But did I want to study STEM?
Science! Technology! Engineering! Mathematics!
Is it only STEM for the next 4 years of my life? Absolutely not. Really? You're not even trying to go to TJ?
What are your parents going to say? You're just afraid you won't get in, aren't you?
Alright, fine, I thought. I'll just try to get in. Wouldn't it be great to go to such a prestigious school? And to stay with all my friends? Wouldn't it be great not to hear those snarky comments every time I told people I wasn't applying? I could do without the humanities for a couple of years. And besides,
Look at TJ's test scores!
and that's gotta mean something, right? Right? So I applied.
Did you make the cut?
I did, but then I got stuck on the first admissions question. Why do you want to go to TJ?
Well, why do you want to go to TJ?
Why do I want to go? Why?
Why?
Why? I don't. And that's when I realized that I didn't need to. I didn't need to please the whole world by being the same as everyone else if it made me miserable.
Last year, I walked into the cafeteria and headed straight for the table that I had sat at all year. That's when I noticed that even though we didn't have assigned seats, everybody would always sit in the same spots, the same groups, with the same people. And it made me wonder, what if I decided to sit somewhere else? I knew everybody here, so why couldn't I? And if I did, how would people react? Why do we feel so inclined to always sit in the same places?
At the same tables.
With the same people? Is it because we just like the feeling of the status quo? Why does it matter so much? Why do we act the way society expects us to act?
Why do we act upon our true feelings?
All right. In 1958, in the state of Virginia, it was not legal for blacks and whites to marry. Mildred Jeter, a black woman, and Richard Loving, a white man, got married in Washington, D.C. But when they went home to Virginia, they were charged with cohabitation and put in jail. They were found guilty, but wouldn't have to go to jail if they left Virginia. They stayed with family in Washington, D.C., who were arrested again when they visited family in Virginia. The case went to the Supreme Court, where it decided that states could not ban blacks and whites from marriage.
The Lovings got married because they loved each other. They knew it was going to be a problem since it was against the law, but they did it anyway. They acted against the status quo because the Lovings were willing to fight. It helped other people. My parents are in an interracial marriage, and I believe you should be able to marry whoever you want. It doesn't matter what your race, religion, or sexual orientation is.
How do we balance traditions and beliefs with what we feel in our heart? How long should someone act the way society expects us to act before they go against the status quo? Disappoint friends and family. Break the law. How do you find the courage to stand up for what you believe in? In school, people
Hi, my name is Marie Mostoki.
We, with Ashley Foreman, have had the honor and pleasure of working with the Wendt Center Ensemble. We'd also like to recognize our grief counselors, Pam Weaver and Stephanie Handel, for all of their fabulous work as part of this whole process.
Yes. A great thank you to the Wendt Center. The Wendt Center is a place where young people can go to get counseling, to grieve a loss. All of our artists on stage today have lost someone important in their lives, and their play present tense explores where grief lives in their present world, how grief changes over time, what people think they might know about grief, and what these artists want people to know about grief and about their experiences with grief. And we're very proud of them. They're very brave artists. So without further ado,
Present tense.
Grief can sneak up on you like a thief or a monster. Or slither like a snake on a vine.
Or pop up like a jack in the box.
Or bloom like a flower in a forgotten garden. It just falls like a shadow in a dark corner.
Grief hides.
In between the words.
On the basketball court.
On the soccer field. Under the grill. In my brother's car.
In the morning.
On the radio. Grief lurks in unexpected places. Lingers like a shadow that gets bigger every day. Grief hides in the details, like a smell, or a meal, or a song.
8:30 at night. In my kitchen, slicing my steak, and there grief was.
4:30 in the afternoon, I was in my backyard. The flower had bloomed, and there grief was. 7:30 in the morning. In the car driving to school. In the car with my mother. Santana comes on the radio. We're listening to Mumford and Sons. And there grief was.
In the kitchen at Uncle Gary's house.
After store shopping 3 days before Thanksgiving. In the backyard at my mom's condo.
Upstairs in my bedroom.
Hiding. Creeping. Popping. And skulking. You don't expect to be sad at these places and at these times. You're just going about your day. And you're ambushed. People think grief is an active thing you do after someone dies. And when it's done, it's over. But it's not that easy. Grief doesn't walk behind me, but walks beside me.
People just don't know it's there.
And you don't always feel comfortable telling me.
November 22nd, 2008. I heard my mom crying on the phone.
He's passed.
This was a new phase for me. My dad died due to a diabetic coma. I didn't think this could happen. He was so young, only in his 40s. I was only in the 5th grade. They say the way my dad looked at the funeral wasn't the way he looked in reality. But I didn't get to go to my dad's funeral because my stepmom was there and she didn't want to see my biological mother. I wish I did get to go to my dad's funeral. I didn't get to say goodbye before he passed. After that, I was really quiet. My grades started to slip, so every other day I went to speak with one of the counselors at my school. His office, it was a pale, dry, and lifeless. He said,
Your dad's in a better place.
I just shook my head. He said,
He wouldn't want you to be upset.
I ran my fingers through my hair. He said,
Son, speak your mind.
I wanted to tell him this. You must not know me because the only place I wanted to be is right next to me. I walked through hell just to be standing. Abusive stepmom, and now my dad gone. You're kidding, right? This is the price I paid for what? But for whatever it was, did I deserve it? If life is the ultimate wish, give me 3 more. Because this isn't the life that I want. He said,
Son, speak your mind.
I wanted to tell him all of that. But instead I just nodded and agreed with whatever he said because I didn't feel like he was there for me, more so just to give advice.
You don't always feel like explaining yourself. And people don't always know the right thing to say, even if they are counseling. I think they feel awkward. My friend didn't know what to say when my dad died. She wanted to comfort me. I could definitely tell. I was at their family's house for dinner one night and she kept saying, I took her hand and I said, it's okay, Bridget. It wasn't okay, but she didn't know what to do and I didn't want her to feel bad. Right?
Do you really blame people for what they don't know about grief? Especially if no one tells them? People learn about grief from TV and movies.
Sometimes in movies, grief looks like a large rock. And with that rock in the way, the character is helpless, devastated, moody.
Hey!
His character becomes a loner and spends the first chunk of the movie wandering around crying over sad music. Then there's that one scene where she has a breakdown and throws herself to the ground in a rage while the entire school watches.
Oh, I say that one. By the end of the movie, they find a way to make it all better. They fall in love, join a team, or talk to the appropriate adult.
You make the end, you're happier. Where I'm going.
It's like the path is completely clear. No more rock.
And that issue is over and done.
But it's not an issue, it's a serious change.
In real life, grieving teens aren't moody like the ones in the movies. They look lots of different ways.
Lost.
Cold,
Isolated.
angry, dark clouds and dark skies.
One of those boarded up houses
person's eyes are like a house's windows and you can see what's going on. But when a person is grieving, those eyes look empty, like the person isn't there.
January 2nd, 2012. It snowed. I was at Victoria's Secret when I got a phone call from my aunt telling me to get to the hospital. She was crying. It started when my mom had surgery. She was doing well for a while, but on the day of my 8th grade graduation, she had to go to the hospital for an infection. She was there the whole summer. She was moved to a rehab center where she was rushed back to the hospital. We never could get doctors in her room, but on January 2nd, all the doctors were there. The day of her funeral, it snowed again. She loved the snow. She used to eat it, but I used to feel nasty. She said it was the cleanest thing and that it was coming from God. My mom was a strong woman, and I was strong too, but now it's hitting me worse. I'm not doing good in school, getting in trouble, and not listening to anyone because I just want my mom back. My mom was my friend, my sister, and most importantly, she was my heart. And I love her so much. And now that she's gone, my whole life has changed.
Grief is not a phase or a stage, and things will never go back to normal.
Eventually, there's a new sort of normal, where the world looks different, sounds different, and feels different.
Not everyone can see it, but I can feel it, even in the most familiar of places.
Like Brookside Garden. My dad and I used to go to the flower pavilion there and take pictures to get ideas for our garden. We were going to build one right when I got out of college. December 4th, 2011. Flowers that were once beautiful are now terrible and ugly. It all started when my dad got surgery on his rotator cuff. He was a carpenter and hurt it picking up a piece of wood. He started to get better, and then all of a sudden, he could barely get out of bed to go to the bathroom. At the hospital, the doctor told us with no emotion that he had lung cancer. I remember sitting next to his swollen body, picking up his swollen hand, swollen from antibiotics. This was my normal routine at Georgetown Hospital after he had moved there. I reached to give him a kiss on the cheek, and I heard him say, "I love you, Schnucks." He could only mouth words because of the respirator in his throat, but I swear, I heard it. Schnucks was an inside joke. With my dad, it didn't matter whether I had A's or F's, was skinny or fat, slow or fast. He loved me for who I was, his daughter. Now that my dad has passed, I can barely look at flowers anymore because I see the happiness, and sometimes it's just too much for me.
Things will never go back to normal and never be the same.
In my house, we don't use the guest room. The kitchen isn't used. It's really quiet. You can just tell that something is missing.
I stopped playing basketball because I knew my mom wasn't there anymore to watch me.
I lost contact with a lot of my dad's side of the family.
My brother doesn't talk to me in full sentences anymore.
In school, it's hard for me to stay focused. Ever since my mom passed, my teacher had given me a ton of incompletes. And ever since then, it's really been hard for my grades to get back up.
Me too.
Me too.
People don't always know what to say. It can be hard to tell the truth sometimes.
People don't ask about my loss, and I don't tell them. People say,
How are you feeling today?
Are you better?
but do they really want to know?
Or they just want us to say things are getting
do everything memorial to your dad. You need to stop doing that. You need to let go.
But I can't because I'm so afraid of losing him, of forgetting him.
I don't remember much what my mom had. I was just a little kid and didn't know much about death. When we moved to our new house, my mother started getting sick, and she ended up in the hospital and having to stay there for a whole year. July 9th, 2009. Grief followed me. From my house to the bus, and from the bus all the way to school. And throughout my entire school day, grief stalked me like a spy on a mission for disaster. Then I met my grandfather at Minnesota Avenue Station. But when I got to the station, I could tell that grief had done something that should have never been done. Like the bully grief is, he chose me as his victim. And my mother's soul, he took. Once that was peace on earth, turned into New York City and hell. When people wake up in the morning and see the happy sun, I see the sad moon. When my mother was in the hospital, I didn't want to go. I'd rather stay home or hang out with my friends. But I was too young to understand how bad the situation really was. I could have stayed there and sat with her. But I was so young and didn't know how bad the situation really was.
I'll go see my mom, but I wouldn't touch her. I was scared of her, my aunt would say.
You act like you don't want to see her.
It wasn't that. It's just that I didn't like to see my mom like that. I didn't know how bad it was.
My aunt and mom knew how bad it was a week before my dad died, but they only told me 2 days before. My mom said,
I was just trying to protect you.
but I wonder if that was the best thing. I could have had those days with him. Secrets aren't always the best thing. Sometimes it can be hard to tell the truth. I don't like to tell them my brother Donald's dead. Because there's more to when we see eyes what happened. July 30th, 2010. One of my brother figures were gone. Dama and my brother Ricky always had each other's backs. They were like two peas in the pod. I always wanted another brother figure. And Dama was starting to take that spot. That night was very confusing. My brother just ran in the house freaking out. In his eyes, I could tell he was scared. He said,
Dama was missing.
we searched every news station and website to suddenly come across something. Then suddenly on the news, they talked about a man being shot and killed. The day of the funeral was, I just wanted to scream. Just like
A
that.
vision no one saw. Just like
I
that.
had to say goodbye.
Just like
The
that.
thought of you comes around.
Just like that.
The memories remain.
Grief isn't something to be ashamed of. My grief is a big thing to me. People can't know me unless they know about my loss.
I want people to know how my dad died.
I want people to know that it's safe to talk to him. I want people to know it's okay to offer help.
It's safe to show you care.
March 26, 2009, my father passed away. He had been in the military since he was 18. He had smoked since he was 18. He was diagnosed in his mid-50s with stage 4 lung cancer. At the funeral, I wore this yellow dress because I didn't want to wear black. My friends were there. My family came up. My teachers were there. Everyone we knew was there. I have to say that it was probably one of the best days of my life. It made me realize that people really do care, even if they don't always show it. But after the funeral, people seemed to disappear from our lives. My mom was angry. My sister was angry. I was angry. But I realized that by holding on to that anger, I was only hurting myself.
I want people to know that over time, grieving is still really hard.
I want people to know that in just a year, I will be better.
I want people to know that there's no timeline for healing.
I want people to know that everything will go back to normal. I think the best way to help people with grief is to let them figure out how they feel.
Don't say you know how they feel.
You don't. Let them know that you're there, even if you don't understand what they're going
students have written these stories, and thank you. Like, this is a performance as well as a writing program. Are there any lines or words that popped out at you? Yeah.
English is not a multiple choice subject.
Yeah.
Grayscale is not easy to grade.
Their comment that, you know, they understand and I just want to say thank you to that group because today my sister's birthday and she died of breast cancer. And you just helped me so much.
There was another thing. Yeah.
Oh, I wanted to thank the person for the word sludge.
Audience, I'm wondering what you're going to leave here with. We asked a lot of questions, and we said at the beginning we wouldn't necessarily have answers. But what are you wondering now that you weren't at the beginning of the night? What are you going to go home and ponder or ask yourself? Any ideas change? Yeah.
How has this performance helped you and changed your life?
You're wondering how these artists have changed through the process. I feel like that's also a question for them, right? A question for them. They want to answer. All right, artists, question for you. How has this process changed your life or helped you? And let's start right here with Ben.
Can everybody hear me?
Yes.
Okay, well, it changed me so much because around Thanksgiving it was kind of hard for me, and I didn't really feel comfortable that much telling people. Not so much that I didn't think they would listen, it was because I couldn't really find the words to tell them. And through this, like, I get to tell somebody in a way that I feel comfortable with. I mean, like it's a large number of people that now know my story and that now know that for somebody out there who is grieving that it's not an easy thing to deal with, and that somebody like twice this time, you know, you don't leave them by themselves. You kind of need to see what's going on with them because anything can be going through their head.
I also learned that when you talk to a person that is grieving, you sometimes wonder, like, what is the right thing to say? You say, like, should I say this? But think, would that make them emotional? Would that be the wrong thing to say? Would that stress the point? And they end up in tears or angry at you. I learned that there isn't no right thing to say. You can say lots of things, and you just want to comfort the person and let them know that I don't understand what you're going through, but I hope that everything gets better and that you'll get through it. You're strong enough to get through it.
I love this question because it's just something that I think everybody wonders, but not everybody asks. So I lost my dad about
In reference to how they came up with the Grayscale, was that a name, like, they come up with that name of Grayscale and the balancing and how that...
And maybe someone from each of the ensembles can answer, how did you come up with your titles? And what did you do, or how did you feel about it once you got them? Emily?
Okay, so what happened was we went through like 4 different like audition like workshops things, and as we went through like we kind of like figured out like what this thing was, and then towards the end it cut it down and now we're an ensemble. But like when they read all that we wrote and they chose our title before we started writing the play. Like we didn't get a say in that. Like they were like, here's your title. Okay. And then we like worked on it. Like we started listing things that we thought of when we thought Grayscale, like Grayscale, and just kind of like developed from that, I guess. Yeah.
Emily's absolutely right. We start with the title, we give them a title, but we find that from the workshop process and the writing and what are we gonna, what are they interested in and how can we go about that? Robinson, what was it like when Becca and Emily showed up and was like, this is our title? Yes.
We all need a big round of applause because we finally had the title.
Good. And
Right after we got our title, we played a game. We had 2 sides, like of A through Z, that represented open and shut. So like A would be alligator's mouth, because it's open and shut.
alphabet relay, they love it. And Wendt Center, what was it like when you made it?
So our title is present tense, and I think our title actually really explains our whole performance, is that grief is everywhere you go for us. And this speaks for anyone that's grieving. It is everywhere. It can put you down in a second, and it can bring you up. Not that that exactly happens to everyone, but sometimes. So like everyone basically said, they just give you a title, but they base it off of our ensemble, based off of like graffiti walls, how grief stalks us, like was in Tanika's story, throughout our whole school day and whatever. And so our ensemble kind of based it off of what we already talked about.
Great. And you should mention graffiti walls, which is another process and activity that we do, so ask them about that. Artists, I see lots of hands. You're eager to tell your story. Audience, I want this dialogue to continue. And this can happen in a couple of ways. One, continue to support your young artists and get them involved in the Voices of Now process, the world. We really enjoy them too. As we break today, we're going to head down to the lower lobby for cookies and juice, a final sort of dialogue moment. They're dehydrated. I do want to give 2 more big thank yous. One to the entire community engagement team, all of the teaching artists who you may or may not have seen tonight, and including Anita Maynard-Losh, who you met, our director of The second thank you is actually to a group of artists that I'm going to introduce you to. They are the Mentor Ensemble. They have told me
Caldwell.
Anthony Jackson.
These artists, these professional, these adult artists, help to produce 13 plays this season. 13 plays, and they are miraculous and generous, and we couldn't be more lucky to have them on our staff. So thank you so much. Excited to see you and talk to you more in the lobby. Thank you.